Happy wife, happy life. Like, wife is never wrong. She found you attractive in some way. That's why she gave you her number at a funeral, no less. Okay, am I petty if I say that this is brilliant?
Yes.
If my bestie Valen told me to sit on some guy's lap, we would have problems. It is time, guys. I need to share my credentials. I'd like to say that, in school, I was pretty much a little bit of a stickler, a little bit of an academic bookworm. But I think where I need to flaunt my skills here is that I am fluent in 4 languages, guys. English, Vietnamese. Well, I guess I can't say Spanglish, so that doesn't really work. So maybe 3 languages. And my third one is mean girl lingo. Years of dealing with judgmental uncles and aunties and American education has taught me I can read the signs pretty well. So today our theme is mean girls. I feel like many of us might have had experiences like this. And today's theme, we're going to be exploring how OP is going to deal with the mean girls in their lives. So let's get into our first story. Our first story is from the subreddit AITA. Am I the a-hole for wanting to break up with my girlfriend because I was a dare date? Never thought I'd have to use this old account, but I'm really stuck and need some advice before I potentially nuke what has been so far a good 8-month relationship. So, for a quick background, my girlfriend, 24-year-old female, and I, 27-year-old male, have been dating for around 8 months now. I first met her at a funeral of all places. I wasn't close to the deceased, they were a friend's uncle. I was just along to keep him company. Okay, that. I was ready for meet cute. OP, I'm just going to quickly interrupt you here. I was so ready. I don't know how many people could honestly say that they met their partner at a funeral and that you made it past the first date, much less even to the date at all. But you know what? Love is in the air and clearly everywhere and can be found anywhere. So let's get into it. OP says, in any case, I wasn't particularly sad looking. I was talking with a family friend and smiling, which she noticed and made a pretty morbid joke, asking if I put him in the casket. It was so blunt, I just sort of snorted, laughed, and we got to chatting all afternoon, ending up with her number in my phone by the end of it. She was funny, witty, pretty, and genuinely a fun girl to be around. So, of course, I took a chance and asked her out, which she accepted rather eagerly. My ego was through the roof at that. Little did I know. I came home a little earlier from work last night. I was covering a shift, and the bloke I was covering came in anyway, so they didn't need me for 8 hours. Anyways, I came home earlier than planned and overheard my girlfriend laughing with someone on her phone. I was about to surprise her with a little jump scare when she said, and I quote, I never meant for this whole thing with boyfriend to last so long. I'd never normally date someone like him. She spotted me shortly after saying that. I made a noise I can't even begin to explain, and she heard me. I'd never seen someone go that pale before. She was all wide, teary eyes, and quivering lips. Girlfriend then spent the next hour or so confessing that she never planned to date me, but once her friends found out she'd given me her number, they found a picture of me online and apparently found me so hilariously unattractive that girlfriend just had to fake date me for a week to give me hope. I wish I was joking. Her friends and apparently girlfriend are all still stuck in their mean girl high school phase. Girlfriend agreed, but I guess apparently forgot about it because we've been dating for 8 months, not 1 week. She told me that she was stupid for agreeing with it and that I was a really good bloke and that she really did love me, but she never expected to actually feel that way about me. Why? Because I'm not her usual type of guy. When I asked her to elaborate, she mumbled that she didn't initially find me attractive at all, but after dating for a few weeks, she stopped caring about my looks. I admit, I sort of lost my temper here and called her an immature waste of my time. I told her I wish she'd just dumped me a week into dating because to find all this shit out in 8 months in, when I cared about her, loved her, was foul. I'm staying with my mom at the moment because I need space to think and vent. Would I be the a-hole if I dumped girlfriend for this? Oh, so much to say. Where do we begin? Um, First off, I'm so sorry, OP. That's gotta sting. Because, okay, it's one thing if maybe you date someone and it doesn't work out, right? And things fizzle out and you guys part ways on nice terms, friendly terms, even. But to find out via phone call that the woman that you've been dating, that your partner that you've in love with, essentially, for 8 months, to her, this whole thing has been a joke. Or even as she claims that a few weeks in, she stopped caring about, I guess, his looks, which thanks, I guess. Cool. Even if she claims that her feelings became more serious after, the minute you start off on that wrong foot, I feel you started on a lie. So it's going to be really hard to recover from that. I mean, I'm going to say it. She's a mean girl. I don't think she ever graduated from her mean girl phase. And the fact that she's still talking to that friend on the phone tells me, I don't know. She says she had a change of heart about you, but what is she actually saying about you on the phone still? The fact that she's saying, oh, I mean, he's not my type and I can't believe I'm still dating him. Ha ha ha. She's still laughing about you behind your back. Man, no. She wants to have her cake and eat it too. Mm-mm. Dump her. Dump her now. I'm dropping the tea early, guys. OP, I feel like you gotta cut your losses. Although I will say, was it a bad sign that you guys started dating from a meet cute at someone's funeral? I don't know. It's kind of like eerie, but it's not like you were close to the person. So I guess, I mean, I wouldn't blame yourself for this. This is just unfortunate how things turned out. But for sure, no, I don't think you're a-hole for dumping her. And I would call her out on her BS. The whole, you know, "Ah, I gave you my number, but then my friends were laughing." So wait a second. Is she now backtracking then? Because girlfriend gave you her number because she genuinely thought you were, I guess, funny or something, right? She found you attractive in some way. That's why she gave you her number at a funeral, no less. She only started backtracking, it seems, when she told her friends and they looked you up, found your picture, and started making all these comments about your looks. So, is this a typical case of she got cold feet because her friends are telling her, no, 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 he's not good enough, blah, 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 blah? I mean, I'm not saying she's the nicest gal ever. She seems kind of, part of the crew. She's not exactly the standalone warrior here, if you know what I mean. What do you think?
I'd say she's playing along with, I guess, what her friends or friend is
Yeah.
saying. And it seems that she's trying to fit in. And
Mm,
I'm not sure that her real, I guess, opinion was the same until her friends said otherwise.
yeah.
And I don't think that's still good of a, I guess, excuse for still thinking that and talking about that even to this day. So yeah, I don't think dropping the D is the
Dropping the D.
out of the question, I guess.
Yeah? Oh, we're strong off an agreement. So you guys just heard from M, my fiance, or as you guys dubbed him, Mr. Deep Voice. Here's the thing. Do you think they can recover from it though? I have yet to hear an apology. That's my concern. But some people might be able to just say, I love her now. We might have started out on the wrong foot, but all is good.
I'd say it's possible, but unlikely.
Yeah? What would
Yeah.
it take? What do you think it would take?
For once, just apologizing properly
Yeah.
and admitting her fault and probably reconsidering the friendship that she has with her friend or friends.
Yeah, I think it would take at the very bare minimum a real apology because so far I'm hearing a lot of excuses. It sounds a lot like she's blaming the friends, but not and exactly like a "I'm sorry I hurt you. That was a effed up thing to do." Like, girl. And yeah, I would say she needs to either cut cold turkey with quote unquote friends or just go low contact with them. Maybe nothing dramatically confrontational, like huge falling out, but even cutting contact or defending your partner at least, because she doesn't seem like she wants to do any of that. Now, I will applaud OP because he went and, he moved out. He's staying, well, I guess not quote unquote moved out yet, but he's staying in a separate area, staying with his mom at the moment because he needs space. And I'm glad he's taking it. A lot of people will continue to stay in the, I guess, relationship and the environment. And then you'll start hearing all the, no, babe, but I love you now. I didn't think so at first, but now you're everything, blah, blah, blah. I feel like it's a little bit of like getting love bombed. So I would be worried about OP getting that. Now, we do have an edit, but before I hop there, let's look at some comments. First comment, is she still friends with all those mean girls? OP does respond to this one and he says, given that she was chatting to one of them yesterday, yeah. I think so. Mm, that's a ick for me. Also, okay, I don't like dares. I I don't know if this is a universal game, right? But in the US, we have something this is so American. We have truth or dare, right? Every person, I tell you, who has grown up here knows this game. And it's the idea that okay, you either say a truth or a dare. Everyone knows the truths are boring unless it's like, "Oh, who do you have a crush on? Who's a crush on who?" right? But the dares are the ones that get really juicy. Typically, I think harmless dares are like, I don't know. I can't think of a one that's harmless, to be honest. Most dares are pretty nasty. They're like, "Oh, go try and take something from somebody," or go try and play a prank on somebody. So most of them, they're kind of mean-spirited a little bit. But this one, I literally despise any dare that plays with people's feelings and hearts. That's rough. And also, they're 24 or 27. So girlfriend's 24. She's in her like almost mid 20s. Girl, grow up. You are too old for this mean girl nonsense. I mean, seriously, who is going to go on dates as a dare? And girl might not want to admit it herself, but if you're still dating the guy that you swore you did on a dare for a week and it's been 8 months, um, girl, I think you caught feelings. You caught feelings. You caught something because no one stays in a relationship that long out of a dare and only that. I'm still team dump her though. Sorry. I just think it's too nasty the way it started out. And I have yet to feel a sense of apology. Another comment from your yogurt. Nothing, well, even if you didn't care about the joke part of it, she didn't go out with you because she wanted to, but was pushed by her friends. And then what? Did she give a play by play after your first date to said friends? Did she share your intimate moments with the friends? Was your first kiss also a joke? Was she hesitant to kiss you because of the joke? Did she even want to kiss you? It's thoughts like that that would drive me nuts because at what point did her joke turn into real affection? Or was she cringing and flinching for those first few dates? How can you be with someone who thought you were gross for how long? Weeks? Days? Not the a-hole. Oh, that's a good point. Because say that OP decides to forgive, right? You can't exactly forget. There's no such thing as, oh, we forgive and forget. No, it's like you forgive, you remember though. At what point would it be real? I would question everything. If I were in OP's situation, I would think everything's a lie. Because it's not like someone wakes up and goes, you know what? I thought you were gross yesterday, but today you're smoking hot. You're Leonardo DiCaprio to me, right? Like one does not just wake up and then just decide, oh, rose-colored glasses on, right? I don't know. I'm getting the egg from this. Now, OP does respond, that's the same shit on my mind. I mean, she didn't act strange or hesitant when we started dating. She was funny and cute and demanded we hold hands on our second date. But was it all a funny story to tell her friends? Was she laughing at how pathetically happy I was dating someone out of my league? I don't know. It's driving me insane thinking about it. I've already checked up. I've already chucked up. I just feel sick and tired and used. I smell UK lingo, guys. So first off, we had bloke in the story, and now what is this? I've already chucked up. What does chucked up mean? Does anyone know? I've already chucked up. I just feel sick and tired. I guess fed up. Maybe it's like the same thing as the American. I'm fed up with this. I've chucked up.
You mean
Any
chalked
guesses?
up?
No, it's chuck.
Oh, chucked?
Yeah, like you chuck someone. Like I've chucked up.
Oh, yeah. I haven't heard that.
Yeah. It's kind of creative. I'm surprised that even with all their stuff, we're still getting new vocabulary here, guys. I like it. Sir, OP, let me tell you, you're a good bloke. Okay? You're a good one. Why are you shaking your head?
Just doesn't sound right
That
when you
was so
say bloke.
natural. I was so natural
Does not
with
sound
it.
right.
Dang it. I was natural. Up
Hey,
until,
hey,
up
as an American, you're supposed to say guy or dude.
dude. Man, that's not so American. It's like the most American thing ever.
I guess guy.
Dude, guy, you're a good one. No, I like bloke though. Bloke kind of sounds polite in a way. That bloke, that kind bloke. Kind of like chap. I almost got it. You guys won't have caught it unless M said it.
Doesn't
Right?
sound. It doesn't sound right with the American accent.
Probably not. It sounds more like, yeah, kind of bland. But OP, I think you have a good heart. I have hope for you. You know what? I can't even say this was like a lesson that life gave out to you because really, don't think you did anything wrong. So take some time for yourself. Enjoy a nice ice cream, get a drink that you like, whatever you need to do, okay? Because you've had a pretty rough I'd say rough day, rough week. I mean, this story is barely 5 days old, so you've had a fairly rough week. So I hope you take some time to maybe spoil yourself, hang out with friends that care about you, lift up your spirits a little. Now, OP does have an edit. Edit? Wow, okay. Did not expect this much feedback. Blimey. So I've turned my phone back on and it's a mess of texts, voicemails, and missed calls. I've only listened to a couple, but she's absolutely sobbing her heart out and pleading for me to come home so she can explain. Nothing from her friends, mind you, just her. Says it all, really. No idea what to do, but now I feel like rubbish. This is such a sad edit, but at the same time, blimey. Like, it's just the vocabulary gets me. It's so cute. I call this the apology tour. Guys, gals, any of you guys there listening, let me tell you, take this from me as the person who has been on the other side of this, as a person who has like sat in as my girlfriends cried their heart out or called or texted their exes. Do not fall for the apology tour. I call this the apology tour. When one side does a severe wrong and they they don't exactly own up to it right away, but then they're calling you. They might be drunk calling you, they might be sober calling you. They'll send you, poetry, paragraphs, essays long about how much they miss you, how much they love you, and oh, don't throw it all away. Ignore them. Block, block, delete. Just report spam if you need to. I don't know what you need to do. Don't fall for it. The apology tour will come and go. I promised you. But what won't go is the feeling of regret once you fall for the apology tour. So take it from me, guys or gals, whomever. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. No, OP, I sincerely hope it's been a week. I sincerely hope that you did not respond to the text and the edits, and at this point that you all have tried to move on. I mean, it's rough because you poured so much heart into the relationship, but I'm wishing you the best of luck. And may your next relationship be much better and start off on an honest and truthful note. So that's my take on it. Any advice for OP?
Sorry, I wasn't listening.
Why?
Mango has been staring at me for the past like 3 or 4 minutes.
She's eyeing you.
She's been looking at me.
She's eyeing you. Honey, was it all a lie? Was our relationship all a lie?
For those who are watching, you'll probably notice. You would have noticed that. Can you nudge her?
Mango, hello, girl.
Oh, she snapped out of it.
She just kicked into existence. She just powered back on from her sleep mode. She's just staring like blinking. Yeah. Oh, she's so cute. My baby. Now, honey, you got something to tell me? In our years of relationship? You telling me something? Did it start on a dare or something? Now's the time. Now's the time to tell.
Absolutely not.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Better not be. Unless the dare was something like, I dare you to date the prettiest, cutest girl you've ever met. And then I'll be like, okay, well, maybe we can talk about that. That'll be different. That'll be a different story.
But still,
I'm joking.
I know, but still doesn't sound right.
Yeah. It's still kind of like, something about it's just dishonest. Kind of gives me the ick a little bit. Now, do you guys agree with me? Do you think I was too harsh? I mean, we did start with dropping the D right from the beginning. Dumping the D sounds bad. Sounds worse. Sounds kind of gross. Dropping the D. So let me know if you guys think I was a little bit too harsh. Or if you're agreeing with me, then jump on my bandwagon. Let's go. Let me know in the comments. And if you're enjoying our read so far, don't forget to like this video and hit subscribe, guys. Although if you're tuning in from Spotify, I love you guys. Please rate this podcast 5 stars. All right, let's move to our next story. Now, this one I actually took as a suggestion from you guys. This is our Wild Pick. And Wild Pick is just that, a story that's a little kooky, a little bit out there, but I felt you guys would enjoy it. Now, I don't know what about me screamed this out, but someone in the subscribers said that I should check out petty revenge stories and that I would enjoy it. I don't exactly know what gave that off, guys, but I did. I did enjoy the subreddit. I kind of took a little bit of a looky-loo in there, and I found this one for you guys. Now, OP says, Overbearing mother in law wants to guilt trip my wife and mess with our home? Absolutely not. My wife's mother did something years ago that I haven't forgiven her for, and I'm never letting this grudge die. When my wife and I first met, her mother was used to being very involved in her life. She had a key to her apartment, which quickly became our apartment. She was used to seeing her at least once a week. She was used to bossing my wife around like she was still a child, despite my wife being well into her late 20s. All of that classic overbearing, codependency, bullshit, mother stuff was taken care of with a lot of therapy and hefty boundaries, which made life a lot easier for me, much to the dismay of my mother in law, who was no longer getting her way. I noticed she started to make some comments about her home, how she hopes nothing goes wrong because she won't be able to come in and help us without a key anymore. Lol. Or how if she was involved in choosing what colors to paint our apartment walls, it would match better. Little rude, passive aggressive things like that. Man, I will comment. I thought when it comes to people I dislike, I was petty, but this is petty on a different level. Can you imagine? You don't get a key to your daughter's house. So every single time you see her, you go, I hope nothing bad happens to your house. I mean, if something did, I could have helped, but guess not. Well, what is she going to do? A plot to like get your house robbed just to prove her point? Like, do you get that sense? A little like petty undertone? Ooh, it's just so good. You guys can't see it, but Emma's making this like little smirk look as he's like nodding up and down in agreement with me. I feel the undertones. Now, Opie says, the last straw for me, where I decided I really just couldn't handle this passive aggressive entitled shit, was when she came into our apartment when my wife and I were exhausted from a week of work and didn't really feel like entertaining. But her mom guilted her into hosting, and then my mother in law used our toilet and turned the orientation of the toilet paper. What kind of self important a hole comes into someone else's home and changes their toilet paper orientation? The f? So, anyway, this was almost 15 years ago. And every single time we were invited to their home after that, which was way too effing often, I changed every single toilet paper orientation in their house, all 3 bathrooms. She's never brought it up to either of us, and she's never touched their toilet paper orientation ever again since that day. But I'll never stop. I hope she knows it's me and that she's gonna have to be fixing her toilet paper orientation for the rest of her days for as long as she wants to be a menace in my wife's and my life. I just can't. It got so, I mean, it's very serious when family members overstep their boundaries and you have an overbearing parent. Like, oh gosh, into your adult years, it is the absolute worst. It's pretty sad. But this whole thing, I cannot. What do you mean? Okay, am I petty if I say that this is brilliant?
Yes.
But it's so harmless, but at the same time so evil.
But for 15 years?
50
It's like, so what happens when you go to their house? Do you just, yep, I'm on my, I have the schedule. I have to meet, I have to visit every bathroom. And,
Wait, how does he nonchalantly do this though?
right. Like, how do you visit every bathroom in the
Wait,
house?
Opie, are you scheduling like 3 separate bathroom breaks and then you're going to a different bathroom each time? Or are you scheduling one extended long visit? Like, which is it? And how is it not noticeable? Or is he deliberately doing it in a way that mother-in-law, like, it's like, oh, you see me going to a bathroom? You know what's going to happen right now. You know what I'm about to do. Like, that is so funny. Like, it's such a harmless yet diabolical way of getting back at someone. And 15 years? Man, I'm kind of almost impressed. That's dedication. You kind of have to applaud him a little bit. Why are you shaking
That,
your
that,
head?
yeah, that's just unhinged, in my opinion.
A little bit. I don't know if you guys even heard, but there's a car that was just honking outside right when I was like, yeah, it's a good, right?
Mhm.
Honk. May I have sympathy for OP here? Because it seems like overbearing mother in law is still very much in their lives. And on a serious note, it seems like wife doesn't have any plan to go low contact. Like, yes, they've established their boundaries and they're not as codependent with mom in law, but she's clearly still in their lives. Like, they're having weekly conversations or something, or family visits at the very least. And Opie just cannot stand the mother in law. But I think he's kind of operating from the standpoint of, look, I have to respect my wife, that she still wants a relationship with her mother. So it's not like I can just not see mother in law, but man, I get pissed when I see her. So you know what? I'm going to take my petty revenge. So that's where I think he's coming from. 15 years is a little bit much. I have to admit, it's borderline. I'm hesitant to drop the crazy, but kind of a little bit. A smidge. Do I enjoy it? Yes, yes, I do immensely. Would I entertain the thought? Maybe a little, maybe a little. Like, how much bad blood is there? Like, it's like, is it 15 years worth? Because it must be for OP to like do this with such a dedicated effort for 15 years. I love
Yeah, to me, just at this point, 15 years just doesn't sound real.
You don't think so?
I mean, who's that petty?
Oh, honey, honey, you're asking the wrong question. Who's that? Sometimes, do you ever look at your partner and you go, you naive soul. You naive soul. You've yet to meet the petty people of the world.
No, jokes aside, I mean, I get being petty, right? But 15 years,
Oh, that's nothing.
that is just something is wrong with you.
I'm not going to argue with that. Probably there's something not right here. Well, think about it this way. I've seen unhappy couples like we all, okay, I don't want to say we all know, but there are some couples out there that I've seen that I like. Your first question is, to be honest, do they even like each other? And why are they still together? Right? They just seem like they just harbor so much negativity towards each other that you kind of wonder, like, I feel like maybe they're just together to spite each other at this point. Like, there are couples I've met that are like that. So this to me is kind of like, this is tame. This is tame, guys. I've seen the drama. I've seen it all. So, this is tame. I would consider mother-in-law a mean girl because this is kind of like she's giving the vibes of girl that just never grew up, that just mean girl just never changed. Her inner mean girl soul never evolved into a mature human being. That's just what it's giving me. So, I mean, OP, if there's no way for you to actually address the situation, maturely and responsibly, and it seems like wife isn't, if she doesn't want to do that with you, or you guys just decide, you know what, we are going to bear with mother in law whenever we go visit. And so this is your coping method. I am so sorry for you because that is rough. But at the same time, man, I feel like you'd be really good at, I don't know, like one of those 1,000-piece puzzles because you seem like you have a lot of patience and endurance to be doing this for 15 years. I mean, you have to. I bet OP would be a whiz at one of those like 3,000-piece puzzles or 1,000-piece Lego sets. Don't you think? It takes work, right? Because wouldn't you just forget after some time? But no, he's like, oh, we're going over. All right, bet. 1 bathroom, 2 bathroom, 3 bathroom. Although, okay, here's a question I have for you guys. Be honest, when you put the toilet paper roll in your bathroom, which orientation do you put it? I have a hot take on this. I know I have a hot take because I get yelled at by him all the time over this.
You are wrong.
No, haven't you heard the phrase, happy wife, happy life? Like, wife is never wrong. Although, technically, I'm still fiance. Have not upgraded to wife status yet, but still, the concept remains true. Okay, you guys can't roast me for this. I prefer the toilet paper when the paper is on the bottom side.
Against the wall, I guess, right?
Against the wall. So you roll it out and it goes the roll itself goes counterclockwise. That's my preference. I don't know why. I just like it that way. Emma's just shaking his head. He's just like, no.
I guess the only excuse you can have, well, I guess 2 excuses. You might say it looks better.
It does. I think
And
it does.
another, I guess, excuse would be if you have pets and they keep unrolling it. Maybe it helps with that. But other than that, I want to hear what others would have to say to defend that.
I can't be the only one. Okay, comment right now. Which orientation do you guys put the toilet paper? Like, please tell me I'm not the only one. I'm not the only weirdo here. I just, look, I never thought it was a weird thing until Emma and I lived together. And he's like, who does this? It was so funny. His reaction to it is literally like, who does this? Like, of all the things, all of my weirdness that he's seen, that's where he's, like, horrified. He's, like, absolutely horrified. And so it got to this habit where you can tell in our house who changed the toilet paper last by the orientation because me, I always put it the right way, in my opinion. Whereas he always puts it the other way, where it's like the paper goes over on top. And then if you're rolling the toilet paper, it's clockwise.
Yep, if I see it the other way, I just change it.
Yes, he does change it when I do it. He's like, no, this is weird. So, you know what? You guys will have to tell us who's the weird one here. I have a feeling you guys are going to be on his side. Ugh. But let's see what some of the comments say for the story. First comment, it might be simple, but the petty level is still there. Kudos to you. I kind of like the subreddit. It's not a question of, am I in the wrong? It's more so, what level of pettiness can you possibly achieve? I feel like if I were ranking this is like level 1,000 for me. It's the 15 years of committed like 3 toilet paper rolls. It's a commitment for me. Chef's kiss. Another comment. So I have to ask, does your wife know you're doing it? OP says, I don't think so. No, she thought it was very weird and inappropriate for her mother to change something in our house all those years ago. So I feel justified. You know what? It's I feel like part of me wants to say, yes, you should probably tell your wife at some point since you've done it for so long. But on the other side, my other question is, does your wife never use the restroom and at your mother-in-law's house? And if she doesn't, or if she does, has she never noticed that the orientation's weird? I don't know. I feel like that's something that would probably come up if I noticed in any of our family members' homes. I would probably make a comment on the drive back home to Em and just go, huh, you know what's something I noticed weird? So I noticed they put their toilet paper differently. So did it not come up? It's been 15 years. Come on. Really? So I'm a little bit, part of me feels like this is a little bit of a white lie, but I would still encourage in the spirit of transparency, honestly, you should probably tell your wife at some point. I mean, if not only to brag about your achievements of pettiness, to be honest, like you should tell her. I'd be curious what wife has to say about this. Would you tell me if you were doing something like this petty? You would, right?
I think so. I just don't imagine myself doing something like this.
No, I can't imagine you doing something either. I feel like if someone's being petty, you just let it go and just go on about your day. If anything, I'd be the one more likely to do it. I would tell you. I wouldn't be able to wait. Like, I would probably just after wherever we're going, say I turned 1 toilet paper. I would not have the commitment to go 3, all 3 bathrooms. Just one time is enough for me to have my inner satisfaction of, oh, I got you back in like the most like innocent, naive, like small way ever. I would jump in the car and literally go, babe, I have to tell you something. You won't guess what I did. So you know how she made that comment about me, right? Well, guess what? Guess what? Now they have the mild inconvenience of having to rotate their toilet paper the right way, quote unquote, the right way. So, yeah, I think for me, I would kind of like just blurt it out right away. Now, our next story is from the subreddit, Am I the Hole? Am I the hole for taking an Uber home instead of sitting on a man's lap? I'm just going to call it early, guys. I'm pretty sure no, question mark, but let's see what the context is. OP says, so my best friend, Sarah, female, 22 years old, recently got a new boyfriend, James, 23 years old, and she's over the moon into him. Sarah's one of the very few people I hang out with. She recently just met James's friend group, a group of guys, and they invited her to go on a beach trip with them. Sarah begged me to go with and kept insisting I join, even when I declined the offer about 4 times. Eventually, I just agreed to go to get her off my back about being sad and alone. I was told that I would have a ride. Sarah and I were the last to be picked up, and when they pulled up, there are 4 guys in a 5-passenger car. I see this as my way out. I say, oh, looks like there isn't enough room for both of us. You can go enjoy the beach with your boyfriend. I don't mind staying behind. Sarah tells me that it isn't a big deal if she has to sit on James' lap to make it work. Immediately, I feel on edge. Turns out James was the one driving and said he wouldn't trust anyone else to drive his car. He told me that I would be the one sitting on someone's lap because there's no way that he would let Sarah do that. I don't know these guys at all. I pull Sarah aside and tell her I'm uncomfortable, thinking that she would help me out. Instead, she encourages me, saying that she thinks I would have fun and maybe even get a date. She's so into James and has been talking about this trip nonstop for over a week. So I decided to just do it to make her happy. Two of the three guys in the back, Sarah sits up front next to James, offer up their laps. I just picked the guy with the most legroom. We live about 45 minutes from the nearest beach, so I thought it wouldn't be too bad, except that I was told on the drive that we were actually going to a beach an hour and a half away instead. My mood just becomes more and more sour. I never want to relax and eventually find myself quietly fuming once my emotions set in. The boy that I'm squeezed into in the back with just talk around me, physically leaning over me, constantly brushing up against me. Once we get to the beach, we set up and I finally find a moment to relax. I eat a sandwich I packed and read a book while Sarah and James are lovey dovey and the guys messing around in the ocean. I was asked twice about why I only packed a sandwich for myself. Not jokingly either. Not once had I been asked to bring a single thing. When it came to the part where everyone was getting in the car, I just told James and Sarah that I called an Uber to pick me up because I didn't want to sit on anyone's lap for another hour and a half. Sarah tried to argue, but my ride showed up, so I left. I got a call from Sarah a few hours later. She called me a bad friend for ditching everyone. When I told her how the whole day was making me feel shitty, she told me I was being selfish and that I'd been acting like a bitch all day. I do not think I deserve that, but I'm also pretty paranoid that I did something wrong. Am I the hole? Let me hold your hand when I tell you this, OP. No! Forget the beach trip. You should have ditched the beach trip, ditched the boys, and ditched the girl. Oh my gosh. Are you sure this girl doesn't have it out for you? Look, someone might say, oh, maybe Sarah's trying to set up OP with one of the guys. I mean, yes, clearly. But no real friend would do that to you in this scenario. It's like, hi, stranger, I just met you. Let me sit on your lap for an hour and a 45 minutes to the beach trip while I'm bumping along your legs. And let us have a romantic meet cute in the car with a bunch of other guys as we're squished into this car in an uncomfortable ride. Ah, yes, love will blossom there indeed. Oh, yes, score. Also, the audacity, you were basically voluntold to go on this beach trip. We're uncomfortable and you sucked it up the whole time and you were like, you know what? For the bestie, I'm going to do this. And then they have the audacity to ask you not once, but twice. Where's my sandwich, girl? Where's our sandwiches? Excuse me? Like, I'm confused. Were you invited or were you like the sandwich maker like of the group here? I'm so confused. And who goes to a beach trip without prepping sandwiches for themselves? I feel like even though the whole group supposedly planned this beach trip in advance, OP was the only one who was prepared to take care of herself. I am baffled and I'm annoyed for you. Girl, I'm so sorry. And then the trip back probably took you another hour and 45 minutes at least. What a waste of time. Honestly, what a waste of your time and effort. I'm so glad you did not hit it off with any of the guys because how could you, to be honest? Such an awkward position to be in, literally and emotionally. But also, ditch that girl. See, I get more annoyed when it's a bad friendship than I am with a bad relationship. Because friendship is supposed to be like, I don't know, not to be, I don't know, cheesy about it, but the power of friendship. You know, all these movies like Frozen. Have you guys watched Frozen? Disney's Frozen? It wasn't the power of love that broke the ice. It's the power of love that came from sisterhood. If you guys heard any noise in the background and it sounds like chickens, it is a sound our cat feeder makes. Don't ask me why it sounds like chickens clucking in the back, okay? We just never changed it. But girl, and then the gaslighting? No way. Is she now blowing up your phone saying, how could you kill the mood? Thanks for being an a-hole. What? A real girlfriend, a real girl's girl will tell you, look, if you're uncomfortable, stay home, do something that relaxes you, chill out. It's fine. We'll catch up later. That's it. That's how that story ends. Not, ooh, don't worry. You have a ride. Oh, don't worry. You can just sit on someone's lap. If my bestie Valen told me to sit on some guy's lap, we would have problems. Oh no. I don't know, guys. Like, I'm not I'm clingy with my man, but I'm not clingy with people. If physically clingy with people, I'm kind of like, I would be the girl that's sitting, like, if I had to, like, if I was forced to, like, it was like, the alternative was you're stranded on an island for their whole life, or you have to sit on someone's lap to like get somewhere, I would refuse to sit on someone's lap. I would be like, put me on the trunk. Like literally, just fold me up into a pretzel and plop me in the trunk. That's fine. You know what? Do you have straps? Do you guys like bike ride or something? Like just strap me on top of the roof. Like do something else. Anything but the lap. That's just awkward. I'm like, ew, please don't touch me. Ew. That's my reaction. So, no, you did not do anything wrong. Oh, actually, no, I will yell at you. You did do something wrong. Let me tell you what you did wrong. You didn't stick up for yourself. You didn't say no to her and mean it. You got into the car. That was also wrong. You stayed at the beach with tolerating all their nonsense. That's also wrong because you did wrong to yourself, OP. So, nothing you did wrong to someone else, but you wronged yourself in this case. So for that, I would say you're an a-hole to yourself. To no one else, though. On a more serious note, yeah, Sarah is not a girl's girl. Anyone who's not a girl's girl has to go. We don't tolerate that. Not in this current times. Like, no. Mm-mm. What would you do, honey? What would you do in this situation? You're OP. Friend really wants this beach trip. You got to sit on someone's lap. Or vice versa. Someone has to sit in your lap.
I'm too old for that.
You really went, I'm too old for this shit.
Right.
Well, I mean, they're not far off from our age. Like, they're in their 20s. So,
Yeah, I don't know at that
I
point.
do feel like they're too old for this. Like,
I mean, like, also what I got out of that is that if you're in a relationship, then you're not supposed to sit on someone's lap. But if you're single, then
it's apparently
yeah,
okay.
then it's a free for all. Yeah, go for it. You're the one that's supposed to sit on someone's lap. Like that just.
That's true. There is a kind of a double standard, isn't there? Like a weird
Well,
kind
at
of
least that's
expectation.
what they
Yeah.
kind of said
Yeah.
indirectly.
Yep.
So
Do you think it was kind of okay? My theory, based on everything I said, my assumption is this was all planned. Like, I don't think Sarah impromptu, like, oh, sorry, actually, we have enough we have enough space for you. Oh, actually, we don't. Oh, actually, someone can just sit on someone's lap. Oh, James said I couldn't sit on someone's lap. Sorry, you'll have to do it. It feels a little bit planned to me. Do you think it was all impromptu, like poor planning?
I think it's just poor planning.
You think
Because
so?
otherwise, it would just
Be crazy.
go to another category, I guess.
I'm 50-50. Part of me feels like, okay, you got a group full of bad planners. Like they didn't work out. They couldn't count number of seats, the number of people going somehow. And Sarah somehow in her brain thought, yeah, my boyfriend will definitely be okay when we sing on some other guy's lap for an hour and 45-minute drive. Like, okay, maybe. But then the other side of me is thinking, what if Sarah is one of those friends where, because there are some people, and I'll say it like some girls, they're like this, where, oh, I'm in a relationship. So I want my best friend to also be in a relationship so we can do things together as a couple, like do double dating and things like that. Like all these coupley activities together. Or, oh, now that I found my man, I want to set my girl up for someone else too.
Yeah, I see that, but given the rest of the bad planning or lack of planning, I guess, it just seems that I would say that the first scenario is more likely.
Yeah.
And especially, I mean, why couldn't, potentially, I guess I'm assuming there were 3 guys in the back seat. So, I mean, they could have also sat on each other's laps, right? And the OP could have sat.
No guy
side,
volunteered.
right?
I love how no guy volunteered.
Right? Like, why did that not come up?
That's true. You know what's funny? So instead of someone that you know sitting on your lap, you'd rather a complete stranger girl sitting on your lap? Is that the mentality?
I mean, you could argue guys are
Heavier?
tend to be bigger, right?
Yeah, bigger. So it might be
But
more
still, like,
uncomfortable, quote unquote. There's a double standard here. No, I would never. Like at this point, strap me on the trunk or strap me on the trunk. That doesn't make any sense. Tie me up in the trunk. Wait, no, please don't kidnap me. Now that sounds like something else. Put me in the trunk or strap me on top of the roof at that point. Or better yet, let me just Uber. Let me just Uber and have a peace of mind because I cannot. No,
that must be an expensive Uber.
Oh, that's true. Wait. There's no way Sarah reimbursed OP for the Uber.
Of course not.
No. If I put my friend through this, which I cannot imagine a scenario in which I would, like on purpose, ever do this, I would at the very least say, "Oh, girl, like, my bad. I'm so sorry you went through this. Let me cover your Uber at least," or something. Not that Sarah owes OP financially. It's just like a nice gesture of goodwill. Like, hello? Instead, she's yelling at OP. She's like, "How could you leave me there? Blah, 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 blah. Like, go along, blah, blah." I don't understand what the big deal is. Why is Sarah even mad? OP went and spent the whole day there at the beach with her. The only thing she did differently was go home separately. Why is that a big deal?
Yeah. I'm just thinking about this again. So it's an hour 30-minute trip. That
Hour
is just
45,
okay. That is just poor planning. I get if it was
right?
5-minute trip to, I don't know, to go to the store or something. I could
Man,
understand
that's
more,
like
but
almost 2
not.
hours.
Yeah, I'm not even mentioning the fact of safety if something
Oh,
were to
yeah, that's
happen.
definitely
Yeah,
not
that's just
safe. How do you share seatbelts then?
you
Mm-mm-mm.
don't.
No safety in that backseat at all. Yeah, no, if anyone's, B word, literally, I'm gonna drop the B word now. Not only is she a B word, but also let's drop the B word. Break up the friendship. Ditch the girl. She ditched you. She clearly was ready to ditch you at the beach all day to hang out with her mans, even though she dragged you there for what exactly I've yet to understand. But yeah, I'd say break up the friendship. But let's see what some of the comments say. First comment from Dr. Spaceman. Nothing, I wouldn't do that regardless of who I know in the car or our genders in case the car crashes. That said, if you weren't against the lap sitting idea in general, why didn't you suggest sitting on Sarah's lap or vice versa? Aha, a new combination we did not think of. Why didn't OP just sit on Sarah's lap or Sarah sit on OP's lap?
See, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that either. For some reason in my head, how I arranged the car, right, is James is driving, so front seat. Passenger princess would naturally be Sarah, I assume his
Right.
girlfriend. And like to sit on lapsies on the front seems extremely dangerous.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it seems even worse. So I just automatically assumed, oh, it's like the boys in the back with OP. But if Sarah was a good friend, why didn't she just give up her passenger princess seat to one of the guys? She sits in the back, either on OP's lap or vice versa. That would make it less awkward and more comfortable for everyone around. Well, except Sarah, maybe, but why? So
See.
OP,
So
hmm?
your I guess idea of this being a setup kind of makes more sense now.
It's starting to like
Yeah.
click, right? It's starting
I
to
mean,
be a
yeah, I
little
guess.
weird. It's a little weird.
Or it could be both, actually. It could be two things.
Oh, could be poor planning. She's a
Combination.
bad
Right.
planner and a bad matchmaker.
Right.
She's just bad at both and a bad friend. Wow, that's a triple threat right there. OP does actually respond to this. OP says, Sarah's a very petite girl, so I suggested that she sit on my lap, which she was against because she wanted me to, quote, get out there. See, my intuition is starting. I don't know, honey. I don't know. Get out there. I have a feeling Sarah in her, I'll say it, she's an idiot. Girl's an idiot. Mine went, what if my bestie sits on some random stranger's lap uncomfortably for 2 hours almost and love blossoms? Yeah. No. No. Girl, this even Disney movies wouldn't pull that. No. I am uncomfortable for OP. Another comment from Frequent Package. Not that apparently being Sarah's friend means being okay with whatever sacrifices you need to make in order to make her happy. F her. She is not your friend. Agreed. Oh, I will say this kind of, it smells like a take and take friendship, or you give and you get nothing back type of friendship. I
I
hate
mean,
to
a
say,
one-way friendship.
yes, a one-way friendship. That sounds right. Like a one-way friendship. I think all relationships, whether you're romantic, familial, friendships, whatever it is, right? Not to make it sound transactional, but there is a level of give and take. Not necessarily like monetary wise, but almost like, oh, when a friend that does something nice for you, you kind of just naturally want to do something nice for them back on a different occasion. And kind of one example I'll say is one of our close friends, like during a time when we were super busy and we were newly engaged, like they just dropped off takeout from one of our favorite spots in front of our door one day for dinner. They literally just texted me and said, oh, by the way, we got you guys some food because to congrats to you guys for getting engaged and also because you guys have been busy or whatever. And they just dropped it off out of the blue. And I remember that, and I was telling Em the other day, like, "Ooh, like, I know that they've been really busy, that that couple that we're super close friends with, they've been busy during this time, like, super busy, they seem a little stressed. It'll be nice if we just surprise them with, like, a same gesture." Now, I'm not saying we're gonna go above and beyond because then, as Sheldon Cooper from Big Bang Theory says, you don't wanna gift an obligation to someone because then they'll feel like, "Oh, no, and I owe you. Now I have to get you something even grander and bigger next time." We're not trying to go there, but we're trying to kind of just do something nice out of the blue and that we know that they would be comfortable with. So, yeah, I kind of support friendships like that, right? Relationships have some level of you just naturally have the urge to do something nice for each other. In this case, it feels like the only natural urges Sarah has is the natural urge to volunteer you to do things for her and then get mad when you just don't, comply right away, like, up, yip, yip, boy, like, do it right away. Like, it feels like she doesn't respect you very much as a person or as a friend. So take it from me, girl. Ditch the girl. The beach wasn't the only thing you should have ditched. Ditch the girl, please. I beg. Now, Reddit does share the verdict of not the a-hole in this one. So I'm saying I'm banging my gavel. Yep. I couldn't agree more. Okay, you're not the a-hole, except to yourself. So, guys, those were our stories for today. A little bit petty. We kind of skirted into a different subreddit as well. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. And let me know your thoughts and your this is gonna sound weird, your toilet paper orientation. Never thought I would ask you guys this. Let me know your thoughts. If you agree, disagree, let me have it. Just share your honest thoughts with me. And don't forget to like this video and hit subscribe, guys, if you haven't yet. Although if you're tuning in from Spotify, don't forget to rate this podcast 5 stars. Thanks, guys. And I'll see you in the next episode. Although, FYI, guys, I do have a quick question. You might have noticed if you're watching the video, I did my hair for you guys today. I did my hair for you guys today. And I did my nails. I have some cute strawberry press-ons to welcome the incoming spring. So I've been meaning to ask if you guys are makeup crews or just good at makeup or skincare, whatever, or fellow brides out there. Just curious, what are some good tips? Wedding is coming up soon, guys. So I am looking for all the tips I can get. Any skincare, wellness, what are some things that you did or are planning to do for your own weddings just to get you in a good mood? Help a girl out. Give me your tips. All right, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.